Mine shot to shit. Ta-da!
Hello.
Welcome to the Midnight Society. It's sort of funny
Hey.
thing, the Midnight Society, when it's 8 o'clock and I'm looking outside and the sun's still out.
Oh yeah.
Like,
it's still 5 where I'm at, so it's still I still got a couple, but it's cloudy and it's kind of cold, so no sunshine for me.
uh, I see that our favorite publicist is here, Stephen Chang in the house. Glad you are here for this one. Yeah, this is going to be fun
Steven's
because
here. Hello,
Uh, yeah,
Steven.
that's right. This is going to be fun because this is going to be the first time that we covered a movie that we're on the opposite ends of the table about.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because you like The Shining.
I do. I really do. I think it's
I
pretty
like.
good. Again,
I'll be honest with you. I liked it too, Professor. I liked it when it ended. All right. Yeah.
well, I have to be honest. My only other experience with The Shining, because I'm going to lose a lot of horror points here, but I've never read the book. I have not been
Oh,
able to read the book, but I did see that miniseries that came out,
yeah.
the other adaptation.
I know the miniseries was much better received by Stephen King himself. He liked the miniseries. Supposedly, in his old age, he's been a little bit more kind to this version, but for many years, he absolutely detested this version of The Shining. He did not like
Yeah,
it. Yeah, he hated it,
he had
and
a blood feud with Kubrick there because he made so many changes that he didn't like.
mhm. And I can't blame him. Honestly, I can't blame him. Because this still happened relatively early on before Stephen King really became a superstar. I mean, he was known. He's with Carrie and Salem's Lot came out in '79 on CBS, so he was rising and his books were selling, but he wasn't in the position that he is now, where he could pretty much control what is done for his properties. Uh, he contractually was blocked out of The Shining. He didn't have enough stroke to to control casting, control plot points, any of that. He was actually he was encouraged and welcome to write a screenplay, but Stanley Kubrick read it and dismissed it because he said it was too much like the book, and
Yeah,
he didn't do that. So he passed on Stephen King's screenplay.
it's kind of tricky when you're adapting a book. I feel because if you make it too much like the book, like what's the point? Just read the book. But also, if you go too willy nilly on it and you change too much to try to surprise people, the people that read the book are gonna get mad because you changed too much. So damn if you do, damn if you don't. I guess.
I know a lot of people have have stated their love for this movie, but I sort of noticed, maybe it's just me, or maybe it's just me, but I've noticed it seems like the last couple of years, it seems less and less people really like this movie. I mean, I see people comment about overrated movies or whatnot, and I hope I don't think it's me. I just because I watch a lot of a lot of comments, a lot of groups and stuff like that, and like overrated movies, and I'm starting to see The Shining start to pop up a lot more than I used to.
Yeah,
I mean,
you think so?
now you see like nice, like right now a lot of the most over. All right, Eden's almost at 300 subs.
Oh, gotta share her out and get her up to those 300.
274. 274. Oh, thank you, Stephen. Stephen invited a friend to come hang out with us.
Oh,
Hopefully,
thank you,
I wonder
thank
who
you.
they'll be. Will they be team Professor or team Cheetah when it comes down to The Shining?
We
Um,
shall see.
yeah,
You know,
that's right.
touching about what you said, do you think maybe it has something to do with that? I know I found out about this many years ago, but it came to light how much of a well, I don't want to say the word. How much of a bad person Kubrick was to Shelley Duvall, and maybe that's affecting people's view on the movies. Like, oh, that Kubrick, he was one mean mofo, so I don't like the movie anymore. Because that
I,
does tend to happen when
I don't
you
know.
know.
Maybe because once Shelley Duvall came out of her seclusion, I mean, because she had a mental breakdown, and I don't know why. I do and I don't. I mean, I would like to know, with the bat. I'd like to know if that bat was a wooden bat or was that a plastic bat. That's one thing I'd like to know because I think that would play a big difference. I do. I think it would play a big difference how I look at the scene. I mean, if you ask somebody to have a wiffle ball bat in their hand and you do it 127 times, you know, it's still way too much.
Oh
But it's
yeah,
not the same, but Kubrick was a rare beast in the fact that he was sort of like we've heard of the method acting, right? Method acting. Kubrick was different in that he was a method director,
oh yeah,
and he wanted that action. He like, okay, I want you to, I want to get you just right. I want to get you just right. And he was a perfectionist for it. Um,
yeah. I was watching one of the because I have them on display. I have the OG remastered DVD release, not the snapper. I haven't been able to find the snapper. Then I have this two disc one.
you mean like the one I got?
Oh, you got the snapper one. Yeah, it's the same one, but that one's the good one.
Listen real close.
Ah, love
Oh,
that sound. Love that sound. Yeah, this one,
uh,
this was a two disc one. I am I freely admit I have probably I have some problem because I am a avid collector of movies. So this one has a couple of special features, and someone that worked in The Shining was like, Kubrick. Kubrick was interesting because he would do 10 takes, and then he would do 50 takes, and then he would do 60 takes, and by the 60th take, the actors were like, "Oh my god, this guy's killing me!" And Kubrick would think that would bring out the crazy in Shelley Duvall and Jack Nicholson. He would wear them down mentally, physically, and that would
mhm.
be what would bring out. I think it's a very messed up form of torture myself, but but that's how we would reason, pushing these people. I also have this one, the Kubrick collection. It has it doesn't have his first film, but it does have the other ones he did.
um,
But yeah, that when I heard that because I saw the audio commentary on this, the documentary. I mean, they were trying to. It sounds like they were trying to defend what Kubrick did to these poor people, but
mhm.
to praising his brilliance. But I'm like, the movie's good, but that's too far, Kubrick. He went too far.
Yeah, he really did, and and he didn't do it just to Shelley Duvall. He did it for everybody.
Yep.
The scene in the bar, the first scene in the bar where he's talking to Lloyd. Um, they started that scene like at 6 in the morning. I read it was like 9 in the morning, and they went till 10:30 at night. And that little bar scene, it's just like holy crap. Like, come on, really? I mean, are you that piss poor of a director that you can't get it within 3 to 4 takes? It's not to me. It's like 127 times. Okay, so is that a reflection on Duvall or is it a reflection on you? Because
Yeah.
to me, you're a director. You're supposed to be able to get your shot, relatively quick. And it's not the actor, it's the director.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like, um, okay, oh sweet. Um, that's no problem. That's no problem. Uh,
Yeah. On this one, the only person that everyone says that Kubrick was not. I'm trying to. This is a family friendly show, so I'm trying to watch my my French, let's say. But the only one that it wasn't a dig to was the kid that played Danny. He's the only person everyone said he treated nicely. Everyone else he was a worker with, but only the kid got it good.
well, he took it. He made painful aware. He was painfully aware of it, and he hit it the best he could. Is whereas he had Danny Lloyd, thinking that they were going to make a drama. They were making a
Yeah.
drama. The kid did not know they were making a horror movie. They just thought it was a drama, and that's what they did. Um, uh, uh, yeah, that's really what that
Oh.
was about. You know, so he was trying to protect him, though Danny Lloyd, he actually wanted Carrie Guffey for the role. The
Okay.
little boy from Close Encounters from the Third Kind. He initially
Huh.
wanted him. Yes, he wanted him, but couldn't get him. His parents wouldn't let him do it because of the nature of the nature of the story. So Danny Lloyd came in there and he did the movie. And then 2 years later, he had one other movie, and then he was done. He was done by 1982.
Uh,
Uh,
I
let's
like
see.
the portrayal. Oh, what's that? Steven saying?
Wow. Steven's saying that he could probably get Jill Shalin to come in if we ever did the Stepfather. I have to find the Stepfather. I'm not sure if I have it or not. I think probably Catfish does, but I have to find it. That's a good movie too. That was the one that got Terry O'Quinn on the map. Um,
I don't I I don't have that one. I have the horrible remake, but I don't have the original one.
okay, look who's here. Our good friend Echo.
Echo! Hey, hey, hey!
That's right. Hey, hey, hey! It's the sonar. It's the Echo.
The
Uh,
Pacific Northwest Geek here.
that's right.
Gonna bring the
We
ticket.
are
Wow,
talking.
wow.
Well, let's. What do you think Echo is? You think Echo likes The Shining, or you think he'll vote for? Will he vote thumbs up, or will he put masterpiece, or will he put Cheetah Poo? What do you think? I'm thinking Echo's gonna say Cheetah Poo for The Shining.
Oh, I don't know. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Some movies that I like, Echo does not like, but some movies we kind of agree with that are pretty awesome. So I don't know, Echo.
I'm thinking he's voting. Let's see. Oh, oh, he voted for you, Professor. Oh,
Ah,
the Professor gets one. No, The Shining, Stephen. We're talking about The Shining. Did you watch The Shining? Did you like The Shining, or was it a good movie for you, or not? Man, I just got denied. Echo just came in here, just crushed my hopes and dreams. um, yeah, see, hey, there. How about Kevin? Kevin's here. Kevin's gonna be on my side. I can tell you that right now. Kevin's gonna be voting Cheetah Poo for the Shining. Are you a big fan of the Shining? Are you a big fan of the Shining, Kevin, or no?
yeah, let us know. Let us know.
Let us know. We're gonna be asking everybody if they like it or not. Is it a horror masterpiece or is it Cheetah Poo? I gotta admit, even if I actually thought it was good, I just want to let's see. Oh, he prefers the mini series. Yes, yes, that's Cheetah Poo.
Okay, okay.
That's a vote for Cheetah Poo. All right,
You're one
all
and
right.
one.
Yeah, yeah, one for one. All right, we're going now. Uh, but
Oh, oh,
I
we
do
have to
have
add
to.
another one. We have to add another one. What does everyone think of that Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episode that spoofs this very well? The shitting. Do you want to get sued? It's the shitting lad.
Which one movie was that?
Oh, it's an episode, a Halloween episode for the Simpsons. They did the shitting where
Steven just came over to your side. He came over to the dark side. He says that is a horror masterpiece. So that is 2 votes for The Shining, being
all
a
right.
horror masterpiece, and 1 vote for Cheetah Poo. So far from our chat, I
Oh,
like
let's
it.
see.
I like it.
Yeah, let's see if we can tie that up.
Yeah, let's see if we can pull away.
Yeah. But that
Uh,
Simpsons one, if you can check it out, it's really short. They condensed the plot of The Shining very well. So if you have a chance to check it out, I recommend it.
I thought, there's one thing I have to say about The Shining. And for what it was, it shocked me. Um, it, it, it could have easily been one of those movies where you could have cut 30 minutes from it and it probably would have tightened it really nice. If he would have tightened it up by 30 minutes and he would have had Halloran as a hero as he was in the book, I think the movie saved. I think you could save the movie, at least some of it. Um, I just I think the one thing that got me more than anything else in rewatching this movie was absolutely how much I hated Shelley Duvall in it. I just was like, oh Jesus, no. I could say I knew, I didn't know until I did research, but I mean, just instinctually, I knew that Jack Nicholson, that was not going to be his ideal person to play his wife. I mean, Shelley.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to be real honest about it. Okay, Shelley Duvall she's a good character actress. She is not a leading lady at all. I mean, there's only one movie she could have been a leading lady at, and she got cast in that role, and that was Oliver, and that's it. There's
I knew you
nothing
were
else
gonna go that with that one.
yeah, but there's nothing else that she could have done. There's not. I mean, she's just even back then, even back then at The Shining, she was just not that attractive at all. And I really don't think there was any chemistry between her and Nicholson at all. I mean, you didn't
Uh,
sense that they were married, they were intimate. I mean, how'd they have a kid? I would that was a miracle for me.
well,
I
maybe
mean,
she got knocked up.
I um let's see. So Kevin's coming in strong. Team Cheetah. You could have cut 30 to 45 minutes from every Kubrick movie, and it still wouldn't have made much difference. Damn.
Oh, shots fired.
Kevin's crushing nuts. I like it. I like it.
Hey,
Let's see.
Anthony.
Anthony's here. He is now he's here and he's got 808 subs and he's got a rap
Oh,
song. Oh
nice,
shit.
nice.
MC Shabbat in the house.
Glad to see your numbers are going up again, buddy.
That's right. That's right. Pretty soon Anthony's gonna head on over to 8 Mile and drop some bars. But I'm not calling you rabbit. Nope, not doing that. Not calling you. MC Shabbat in the house. Yeah, let's see. The Shining is what God. Okay. This is not rehearsed. All right. This is not rehearsed. I'm telling this right now. What Kevin's saying is from Kevin. This not have nothing to do with me. You guys are gonna come over and watch him crush. He's crushing it right now, and I have nothing to do with that. But The Shining is what every A24 film aspires to be. And good Lord, in the case of Beau is Afraid, they did just that.
Well, is that the one with Joaquin Phoenix?
Yes.
I haven't seen that one.
Nobody else has either. Oh damn, that was tight. So yeah, that was. I don't know. No, I don't. I won't say that Kubrick made this movie for him. I don't. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he did an Ari Aster. I'm not saying that at all. Or the guy who did a Ghost Story. He just made a movie just for. I made this movie for audience of one, me.
Yeah.
Uh, uh,
Actually, funny story about that. Again, I saw one of the special features on this one, and they said that Kubrick did this one because he needed to show a success. He did
yeah,
Barry Lyndon, which bombed. It didn't do that well. And his next project was going to be Napoleon, but because Barry Lyndon did so bad, no one wanted to finance it. So he did okay. I'll do Hard. That seems to be popular right now, and that's why he did The Shining.
they said that for weeks his staff would come with piles of books and they deliver them they put it on his desk and his secretary would be outside and he would listen to he would listen to or she would hear the books being slammed against the door. He was reading between 10 to 30 pages and then if he wasn't hooked by it he would just get rid of the book. He just like screw it, throw the book down.
Yeah.
And he said that she knew that he had found the movie that he wanted to do is when she came in and didn't hear the book being thrown. So he came out there and says he wanted to do a horror film. Now he had not done a horror film at this point. Though I disagree with that because I think 2001: Space Odyssey was definitely a horror film.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I agree
or
with that.
I yes, definitely. Okay. Steven mentions his favorite memory about the Shining, the Jack Nicholson one. I saw Transformers animated one. He remembers Scatman Crothers as Jazz, and the animated Transformers. So, yeah,
Oh
Scatman
yeah,
Crothers. Yeah, Scatman Crothers, man, he was fun.
yeah, I like him.
He was fun.
Although he has very interesting choices in his pictures in his room.
Um, he did, of course, he did Chico and the Man. He was like a friend of those two. He also starred in a martial arts classic. Can anybody remember the classic martial arts film that Scatman Crothers was in?
Oh,
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Hi Tiffany, how are you?
hello.
Um, and that with Willie Ames and Scott Baio, and the lovely Heather Thomas was in that as well. Um, uh, yeah, Scatman Crothers. One of the funniest things I ever saw. He did an episode of Dragnet, and he played a real estate agent, and he wore toupee. Man, that thing. Oh man, that thing was awful. That thing was awful. It was like, man, he's wearing a toupee. Uh, but he played in the martial arts classic Stand Back, Black Belt Jones with Jim Kelly.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that one. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah, he played Pinky, and he ran a martial arts dojo. And believe me, you haven't seen shit until you see Scatman Crothers doing kung fu. I was dying. I was crying when I saw that. I was like, "What is that? That was that? Oh my god!" There are so many great lines in that movie. There's so many great lines in that movie.
I'm gonna have to check it out. That's the thing. I mean, like I said, I'm an avid movie collector, but I am still surprised at the amount of movies I have yet to see or keep discovering. It's really, really, really exciting to come across or hear about movies I've never heard of before.
Well, it is something else. Like Mike found my copy. I found my copy of The Shining. I got this at the library. I got this for a quarter.
Nice.
Yeah, so I was like, oh yeah, we got to talk about that.
Uh,
Um, let's see. Jack Nicholson was in the 1960s movie Little Shop of Horrors. Yes, he
yeah,
was. That's right.
yeah. He
That
was also
movie.
in the Terror with Boris Karloff.
That's right. Those two movies. Oh, and was it uh yeah, those two movies are always in the public domain movies. Every time you get a public domain stat, 50 movies, you can rest assured that the Tear and the Little Shop of Horrors is definitely going to be on that pack. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Everyone. Uh, anytime there's a public domain one goes past 50 movies, count on those two.
Oh yeah, I got a
Um,
couple of those multi packs, and the Terror sure enough is there.
okay, Mary Wilson is having lunch at the beach with the Donner Party. Oh yeah. All right. They mentioned the Donner Party too during The Shining. That's right. They mentioned the Donner Party and they had explained to them what the tell Danny what happened with the Donner Party. Let's see. Jack Nicholson was in the Who's Tommy. Yep. Let's see. And Kevin's got one. Kevin's got a see, I got a copy of The Shining on my computer that is synced up with Dark Side of the Moon. Of course, Jack Nicholson, one of his most famous roles, of course, was in uh, uh, holy cow! Oh, it just came and went.
What?
Oh my gosh,
The
that's
Comet?
just huh?
The Comet?
No, well, he won an Oscar, I believe, for Was he? Did he win his Oscar for Chinatown, or did he win it for did he win it for Chinatown, or did he win it for yes, that's it, Easy Rider. God damn, I couldn't believe I forgot that. He was
That's a good
really
one.
good in that. Yeah, he was really good in that. And then he also did Cuckoo's Nest.
Uh huh.
Uh,
Uh huh.
that's a great movie.
Oh
I,
yeah.
I it's weird. I've seen that movie like 4 or 5 times, and I got to be honest with you. I was really confused when I was watching that because everybody says that Nurse Ratched was the villain, and I've watched that movie many times. I never saw her as the villain.
Yeah. No.
I
No.
always saw her as just she's just doing her job.
Yep.
There was no seditiveness. There was no, she wasn't trying to hurt anybody. She was just trying to do their job. I mean, she had a
Yeah.
really difficult job, and and it was just I never got that. I never got that. Louise Fletcher was supposed to be an played evil Nurse Ratched. I'm like, I never saw that.
No. No. She's no Ilsa, so I didn't think she was. So it's the
Oh,
same situation that happens with Ferris Bueller's Day Off. The principal is portrayed as the bad guy, but if you really look at it, Ferris Bueller is the villain of that movie. He's an
he really
egotistical,
is.
narcissistic sociopath.
He
So you
really is.
start feeling bad for the principal, not taking into account the situation with that actor, which we won't talk about here. But
Uh,
yeah, the principal is portrayed as the bad guy, and he's just trying to get this freaking kid.
see, Steven says as Shining isn't his number one. It's in his top 7 Stephen King films. Yeah, that's a good thing too. Like there's a lot of Stephen King movies out there, and it's really interesting how those movies are marketed. Um, Generally,
Yeah,
when the movies aren't marketed with his name on it, his movies do very well. It's when you
isn't
put
the
his name
isn't
on
the
top of it.
Running Man also a Stephen King movie?
Yeah, yeah. Oh god, that thing's god awful. Oh man, that's it. You know what? Can I say this?
Yeah.
That movie's even worse than The Shining. That movie, oh
No
my
love.
god, it's so bad. And you know what's funny?
Well,
What's funny is that the story is
uh-huh.
one of his very best. The novella he wrote, the Running Man novella, it's one of his very best.
Yeah, didn't he write that with a pseudonym because he wanted to write other
Yeah,
stuff other than horror?
Richard Bachman. Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
yeah, yes, that's the one. The Running Man with the Arnold Schwarzenegger. Um, the book is so damn good. It's one of his very best. And man, when I heard about the movie coming out, I was so excited because I'm like, damn, that's a dope ass story. And the cool thing about Stephen King, the cool thing is it is freaky as hell, really, is that he wrote The Stand. He wrote The Stand before the AIDS crisis hit, and that flu, the Captain Trips flu, played out just like it was the AIDS virus.
yeah.
It was really, really scary. I mean,
Yeah,
it was freaky as hell.
there's a
Uh,
lot of writers that they say that writers are able to tap into something because there's a lot of writers that write sci-fi and stuff that they write actually came to pass, and there's a lot of writers that write horror and some of the stuff that they think is horrifying and stuff that actually ends up happening. So there is something there, I think. But yeah, very very forward thinking in
um,
that book.
I mean, if you go back and read the novella of the Running Man, man, you look around now, look at TV, and you see all the game shows, all the reality shows, all the competition shows.
Yeah,
He was writing about that. He wrote that years before that hit, years before those shows came to art, years before Survivor or all those other shows came on. He had already written about that, saying in a future world, people were going to be more vested in TV and watching TV and being interactive TV, and they would not pay attention to what was going on around them, even though they were slowly being killed by climate change. And he wrote that years before before anybody else did. He wrote. I mean, he wrote that years, and then they made it into an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. and it was just like, wow, that's just uh, yeah.
Yeah, but I do think it's very that one at the top of my head. That one and Network, I think, are very telling on how we would end up as a society as far as TV goes.
And you also had the China syndrome.
Oh yeah, yeah, with the
Yep,
nuclear thing. Yeah,
yep. Let's see. My favorite Stephen King film, Maximum Overdrive, due to the fact that Stephen King arguing with the machine. Yeah, that was Stephen King when he was coked and drunk out. He was barely hanging on to his sanity back then. I think after Maximum Overdrive came out, I think that's when he got hit by the car, and I think that was when he got hit by the car, he almost died. He almost died, and that was his wake up call. And after
isn't that
that,
ironic? He writes a story about cars that kill people, and he almost gets run over by a car.
yeah, isn't it? I mean, yeah. Um, so Stephen King, though, he did approach the studio. He did approach, and he did try. He wanted to. They offered. They were thinking of who else could we get into this role, and one of the names that was mentioned, and thank God no, though it would have been interesting, was Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro was
Huh.
suggested for the role, and the one I think probably would have worked. The one I would have picked for Jack Torrance, I would have picked Martin Sheen.
I could see that.
Martin Sheen, if with a different director, he could have made that role really work because he's had to be a gradual, slide into insanity. Like, and that's one thing we really didn't get. We got um, we got Nicholson, and he's already looking shady as hell anyway. As soon as the
Oh
first
yeah,
scene you see him, and you look at him and going like, yeah, that's Jack Nicholson in his creepy mode. And I don't think Jack Nicholson has ever done a movie where he hasn't looked creepy as hell.
no,
Either I just don't know. Schmidt, any one of them, The Departed, any of his older roles, Prizzi's Honor, he's always, you know, the two Jakes. I'm just trying to think of any role that he's ever appeared in other than Easy Rider. Now that's probably the one movie where he actually looked relatively sane. Easy Rider, he's just a happy-go-lucky guy. It's probably that's probably the reason why it's one of his best roles is because he was a happy-go-lucky guy. There wasn't pressure on him. He looked he could have some fun with the role,
yeah.
even though he buys it at the end.
Yeah, with Jack, it's not so much of a question if he's gonna go crazy. It's just a question of when, because he's already kind of wind up. And that's the thing that I like about the miniseries. The miniseries does go more into the tragedy of this dad that has his demons, but is being overtaken by the hotel, and he's still fighting for it. Whereas Jack in this one's like, yeah, okay, I'm evil now. Okay, I don't. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. He's actually excited about the prospect of going nuts.
Let's see. Let's catch up with the chat here. As good as it gets, he isn't creepy guy. Okay. Uh,
Oh well, I don't know about that. I've seen that movie, and I don't
he's
know about
creepy.
that.
Is he creepy? Wait a minute. You know what? We got our IFC midnight in here. Um. Here comes Yankees Kyle. Here comes Johnny. That's right. And here comes Tampa Bay. And why did we give up? Why did we get beat today, Kyle? That sucks. Um. Abreu's got to go, man. Abreu's got to go. So I'm surprised Tim Burr doesn't do a Stephen King book to film. That's an interesting one. But let's ask our IFC Midnight, Mary Wilson, our favorite night. Let's ask her what she thinks about The Shining. Is it a horror masterpiece or is it cheetah poo? And Kyle can come in here and answer that question too. Is The Shining a horror masterpiece, like the professor is saying, the professor, or is it cheetah poo, like me and me, like I'm the same?
Yes, inquiring minds want to know.
Inquiry minds wants to know what you guys think about The Shining. Is it something? Oh, I got shot out of the saddle by my knight. Oh my God. Mary Wilson said it's a horror masterpiece. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's see. Um, let's see. One Stephen King film that will never get a film adaptation is The Rage. Yeah, you know what though? You know, uh, without letting the cat out of the bag, or maybe I will. There's another movie that came out sort of like The Rage, and that was a movie called Rampage. Did you guys ever see that one?
Rampage, Rampage. It rings a bell. Well, I know of two movies that have that title, but specifically, what's that about?
Guy goes crazy. He starts shooting up everybody. Let's see. It's not Cheetah Poo because the Shining is memorable. Well, yeah, so's The Room, but I wouldn't see anybody calling that a masterpiece. Mm.
Patrick, you're tearing me apart. It's
Mm.
awesome.
The Wicker Man remake. It's a horror movie, but I wouldn't call it a masterpiece.
I'm the wrong person to ask that because I think it's but I mentioned this before. I'm a mark for the Cage Man. Anything with the Cage Man, I'm gonna like it.
Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance. I wouldn't. I mean, he did that movie, but would I call that an awesome comic book movie? No, I call that Cheetah Poo. Ooh.
He's so amazing in it, and he has one of my favorite character actors, whose name I always forget, but he was also in Blade and in that TV show Grounded for Life.
Yeah,
He was
Donald Logg.
full of
We're gonna be naughty. We're gonna be gods.
yeah. I love that guy.
Um,
That guy's amazing. Every time he
yeah,
pops
Donald
up,
Logg.
him,
He's really good.
yeah, him and Elias Koteas. I'm like, yes,
Yes.
anything you're in, I'm in for it. But yeah, yeah,
Steven says he liked the
yeah,
original Ghost Rider over Spirit of Vengeance. So did everybody else. Yeah.
oh, yeah,
Oof. Painful, painful movie. Yeah, I love Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider is
yeah.
one of my favorites. Yeah.
I like it. I like it. I like the design of the character too. Just this skull that's on fire and the
Yeah.
leather and everything.
Well, Steven Johnson did an excellent job. We're going to be talking more about we're going to be talking more Shining here. Don't worry, we're still talking about it. Yeah.
I'm giving it the runaround, Pat, because I know you do not like this movie. So
Look at Mary Wilson comes back and says she thought that Doctor Sleep sucked though. Now that's really weird because I actually have heard a lot of people praise Doctor Sleep. They said that Doctor Sleep was really good. Um, Ellen Burstyn is no Christopher Lee. Uh, um, I wanted to see Doctor Sleep because I want to see Rebecca Ferguson in it. She's playing the bad. She plays Rose the Hat, and
oh
I
yeah,
really like her. I really like her as an actress. She fucking rules in the Mission Impossible movies.
yeah,
Holy
yeah.
crap, man! She makes those movies look. She makes those movies pop.
I
And she
like
was really, yeah,
I
she's
like
good.
Doctor Sleep, but that one's an interesting beast because it's supposed to be an adaptation of the book that's a sequel to the book The Shining, but it also takes a lot of elements from the Kubrick movie. So what exactly are you trying to be? You're trying to juggle both likes, and I still liked it, but it's a very weird decision to be like, okay, we're gonna be faithful to this, but we're also gonna be faithful to this, even though it doesn't meld together.
I would have to read the book before I could comment on that. Because I didn't read Doctor Sleep. I saw it came out, but I didn't read it. Um, so I can't. I'll have to do that. I do know that Stephen King does do that a lot, though. He moves his characters around from book to book. I mean, Randall Flagg has appeared in probably half of his books in some way or the other. He's got characters that run through every one of his books. Some kid from Cujo
Yeah.
could pop up in the Dark Tower. Roland, Roland could pop up in a he could pop up in a Salem slot movie story. He moves his characters around like chess players. He has that immersive universe,
Yeah,
which is why it made. I like that idea what he did with the gunslinger. The Dark Tower. Now the first Dark Tower book is absolutely garbage. It's really it's hard to make through. It's like his very first thing he ever wrote, I guess.
yeah,
But I have heard that it got better and better. And again, this is where Stephen King he just can't get it together. He cannot end a story worth a tinker stamp.
no, 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 no,
Oh,
no.
the Dark Tower is number one as far as that goes. You read the Dark Tower, you vested your time and years in the Dark Tower. You can't tell me that after you read the last one that you were not sitting there going, "What the hell is that?" and get pissed off. I don't know anybody that has read the Dark Tower series and has come away with it saying, "Wow, that was awesome." I have
Yeah,
not heard anybody say that at all. Nobody. And I know a lot of Stephen King fans, and they all sit there and say they're not ripping it per se, but they're sitting there going like, "What?" They're bewildered.
yeah.
They're like, "Is that it? Is that all there is?"
Yeah, this is a personal opinion. Personal opinion. Just me. I like the setups of his stories. I like the everything that builds the story. I like the first part and the middle part, but then the ending is like and then they were rescued by, let's say, Mo, and the ending kind of always leaves me like it could have been a little better. I mean, you had this great setup, and then the ending kind of falls flat.
Yeah. Um. Let's see. Let's see. Jack Nicholson. Yeah, he played a good Joker. Um. I
Well,
mean,
if you watch these movies back to back, he's really just playing Jack, but
yeah, he really was. I mean,
with the
but
makeup.
I liked him as the Joker. I think
Fine, me too.
he did.
Batman '89 is one of my favorite Batman movies, and I'm super hyped to see Michael Keaton back wearing the suit. But again, if you see them back to back, you really don't see much of a difference between Jack, Crazy Mode, and Joker. It's basically the same thing.
I do think that Heath Ledger definitely owned the part. I mean, he played an awesome Joker. I mean, you got to give him that. I mean, that's what the Joker is about. The Joker is just an absolute 100% psychopath, and he basically he's saying as bad as I am, and I'm evil as hell. You're worse to the Batman. You're worse. You're worse than I am because you won't kill me. And he knows that. And by not killing the Joker, Batman does come across as the villain.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see.
Uh,
Kevin saying that he likes Doctor Sleep, but once they get to the Overlook, it just tries too hard. Um, they were
yeah.
very proud of those sets.
Yeah, that's what
Uh,
I'm saying. It's like they were trying to cater so much to the book and the movie people that it kind of comes off weird how that they tried to mesh it together. It's a good movie. I like the movie. I like the performances. I like the mood it sets up, but it is very confusing. Like, what are you trying to do with this one? But I
well,
still recommend it.
isn't Dick Halloran in the second one? Isn't he in the second movie? In the second movie, the chef isn't he in the second movie?
Dick Halloran, yeah,
Yeah, that's what I thought. I knew they were going to fix that, and we're like, because that was the biggest mistake that Kubrick made in The Shining. Well, two, one, and I don't know if he what role he had in it, but one definitely the first thing they did wrong was cast Shelley Duvall. That was the
yeah.
first thing. Once they did that, that movie was going to go off the mountain anyway.
The only thing I can think of is that they purposely did it because well, like you said, she's not very attractive. So someone like her that has maybe self-esteem issues, maybe she doesn't think she's good enough, would end up with someone like Jack. So maybe that's what they would going for.
In the book, Wendy Torrance was a very strong character. She was a strong woman. She was not wimpy at all.
Oh yeah,
She wasn't anything like that. She was more of a badass.
yeah. She was
Hold
running through
on.
the corridors like Dr. Soyberg.
Renee saying never got into The Shining.
Oh,
That's a visit to Cheetah Pooville. All right,
that's another word for you, Pat.
go Cheetah. Let's see. Jack put me in tears in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
a really sad movie. I'll say that that was a sad movie. I just never saw Nurse Ratched as the villain. I just never did. I I, I don't know what that is, but I just didn't. It's a great movie though. Brad Dourif was in it.
yeah.
Judge Reinhold was in it. That was his first film. There was a lot
Christopher
of there was
Lloyd.
a lot of young talent in that movie. And some older actors. Will Sampson, who played the chief, he went on to end up starring in Vegas with Robert Urich for a season. Let's see. Yeah, Stephen mentioning he knows that Nick Cage is a method actor. I just wonder. I just wonder how many doors he busted before he got the characters right. Well,
Mhm.
well, the reason they were going to do paper, they were going to do false wood for the doors, but Jack Nicholson actually had worked as a volunteer firefighter,
Yeah,
so he was very comfortable wielding an axe. So every time they stood up to do the shot, Jack Nicholson was destroying the door so fast because he knew how to hit it. So they had to switch over from a fake door to a real door, and you can tell by Nicholson swinging the axe, he knows exactly what he's doing. It's
oh
no
yeah,
Hollywood. Yeah, it's smooth. I
yep,
mean,
yep.
yep.
What again? Deviating from The Shining here a bit, but I was curious to ask you, what is your favorite Jack Nicholson role that he's done?
My favorite Jack Nicholson role. Wow, I'm not really a big Nicholson guy myself. Um, I mean, he's all right, but it's not really my not when you say mention favorite actors, he's not the first thing I think of.
Oh no, 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 he's not my favorite. I respect the guy.
Yeah. Yes.
When he started off,
Um,
but then he
I
was in
guess,
that Adam Sandler movie, and I'm like, oh Jack, why'd you do that?
yeah, I guess it'd probably be like The Departed. You know,
That's a
uh,
good one.
I thought for a few good men, he was excellent in that.
Oh, that's another good one too. Yeah.
Colonel
You
Cheetah.
can't handle the truth.
Yes, it's right. You don't want to know what I'm up there. You want me up there. You don't because you can't handle it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And that part was just like call me sir. I've earned it. Then he says, I'm out of here. I'm going back to my unit. You'll sit your ass down, Richard Roundtree.
yeah.
Awesome. Uh, let's see. Steven says, the Joker. Um, I recently got a copy of Chinatown, so I will be revisiting Chinatown. I have not seen that movie for a while. Um,
Have you seen the two Jakes?
I have seen the two Jakes, yes. Um, actually, that's funny because that's who he wanted to. That's what he wanted as far as his leading lady to go. He did not want Shelley Duvall as his leading lady. He wanted Jessica Lange. That's who Jack Nicholson campaigned for. He wanted Jessica Lange, and I think they didn't give her that because I still think that she was relatively new to Hollywood. I mean, she'd only been there for 4 years, so not that's not very long in Hollywood terms.
Yeah.
So even though the movie The Shining did well enough, so Jack Nicholson could have a little bit of pull. Hey, yes, The Shining did make money. It didn't make a lot of money. I mean, in comparison today, it was made for $19 million. And again, you got to consider that back then these movies weren't really internationally distributed like they are now. But it did
No.
make almost $48 million back. So it did make money.
Yeah.
It did.
Fun fact about that. In an interview, they interviewed Steven Spielberg, but he was because he was friends with Kubrick later on in life, and he asked him, "Well, what do you think of The Shining?" And Steven Spielberg flat out told him, "I don't like it. I don't like it. I respect the shots, but I don't like this thing." And Kubrick was like, "Wow, okay."
Yeah, I just didn't. I mean, I just didn't like. I didn't. I wish there would have been more chemistry between Jack Nicholson and Duvall. I mean, that would have helped it out a lot, but there was absolutely none. and plus the way she played Wendy Torrance was horrible. And it was, and not only that, but that's all. There's just a lot of empty space in that movie. A
Yeah.
lot of Danny driving down, driving around the carpet. Everybody's doing their own separate thing. There's no interaction with anybody. And and that makes that stretched out the time. The runtime, 142 minutes of watching. A little kid and a wife and he shows how lonely she is. As far as Wendy goes, because he after her husband's, when he started cracking the first time he cracked, which again you don't really know why he did it. There was no reason given. She came in with a lunch, and all of a sudden, then he snapped at her, and it's like, what? Where did that come from? It came out of left field. It wasn't like, like slowly going. It was it was just from point A to point A to point C without going through B. Um, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Tootsie, Justin, Jessica, and Dustin. Bill Murray. Yeah. As far as okay, as good as it gets with Helen Hunt and Greg Kinnear. Greg Kinnear is great.
Yeah.
Cuba Gooding Jr. Um, uh, yeah, I see. I see. It's weird too. So I'm not really a Jessica Lange fan either. I'm a big Dustin Hoffman fan, and I'm a big Bill Murray fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I never really was. I thought Jessica Lange in her first role as King Kong, her character in King Kong, I
Yeah.
really thought that's who she really was off camera. That character, she wanted to be famous. She wanted to be in the spotlight, you know, and no matter at what the cost. Um,
Yeah. That's one.
and
That's an interesting one, but not as interesting as the sequel, King Kong Lives, with the giant female Kong. That's a thing.
I feel honestly, my favorite Kong movie, honestly, is definitely Jackson's. Man, I
Really?
love. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
that's where we're gonna disagree again because I like the
Yeah.
original one, the 1933 one. That's mwah, chef's kiss.
Man,
And the Peter Jackson one,
I've seen the old one. I'll give it props for what it was, but Peter Jackson did I mean, that's a masterpiece. That's a great movie.
it's a good movie,
I love that movie.
but
I loved his
man,
whole thing.
I was pulling. I mean, I don't have any hair, but I was pulling out my hair just like get to the damn island. I can't take this anymore.
There's nothing wrong with watching Naomi Watts on a boat. And come on,
Oh no,
how about Jack Black coming back and doing a dramatic role and killing it,
yeah,
killing
no.
it. I mean, he
There's
was.
things I like about that one, but again, the whole process of getting to the island. I was sitting in the theater and I'm like, oh come on, man, get to the island. And
Well,
then
that's what I felt about this in The Shining. It's like, man, I'm just like I'm ready to check into the Overlook Hotel so they can put me to sleep already because this movie is boring. 2.5 hours. I was like, what?
yeah,
Do we have to see the kid ride his damn bike down the hallway again? And and seeing the twins and there's nothing going on. I mean, they're not making it. He sees them. He goes like, "Oh my god, oh my!" And then nothing else happens. It's just like what? Oh my god. Shiny was the shiny. It got on my last nerve and tried to set up a tent. Um, so
you
the
could
Hannibal,
say,
Kevin is going on your side on Peter Jackson's King Kong.
all right,
You know
he knows
what?
what's up.
You know what? He just got he doesn't know this yet, but he just got himself an invite to a Midnight Society, and we're going to be talking about King Kong movies, and we're going to bring him up. We're going to bring up Mighty Casey, and we're going to talk King Kong. Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he just punched his ticket. That's right. Um, did you see Kong Skull Island, Professor?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Did you see Kong Skull Island?
Oh yeah, I like that. I like that one. Not as much as the original one, but I dug it. I dug it. Pat, where you go, Pat?
You like
He's not.
that? You thought Skull Island was good? Oh my god, that movie was so stupid. That movie. Oh yeah. We're gonna do a Kong. We're doing Kong, and
Yes,
we're bringing
we'll
we're
talk about
bringing.
all the cons.
Oh yeah, we're gonna bring yes. We're bringing Kevin. We're gonna bring Mighty Casey up.
How many
Maybe
are there? There's the original one, and
we,
the 1970s
yeah,
one.
you had the two in the Japanese movies. They did two
Yeah,
Japanese movies. They
yeah,
did,
five.
King Kong versus Godzilla in '64. Then they did King Kong Escapes. Um, and then they did the King Kong with in 1976 with Jessica Lange and Jeff
Right?
Bridges. And then they did the second one. I'm not sure what the second Kong movie was, but that one had Linda Hamilton in it.
Yeah, King Kong lives.
Okay, King Kong Lives, which I
Yeah,
heard was pretty bad. And then you had Peter Jackson's King Kong, and then you had Kong Skull Island, and that walked into the MonsterVerse.
yeah.
But
Have you
Kong,
seen
oh,
Have you seen any of the extended versions of King Kong? I mean, King Kong's already long enough, the Peter Jackson one, but there's an extended version that's way longer.
really,
Oh
man,
yeah, I have that somewhere.
like Lord of the Rings type long.
Yes.
Hell yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, yeah,
I
I've
would,
seen it a
I
lot
would,
in the.
I would
Last
like
time I saw it at a dollar store. It's a 3 disc set.
That's not right. That's not right. Are you saying that for real, or are you just saying that to sprack the movie?
No,
Dollar,
no,
the
it's for
dollar
real.
store. uh,
I already have it, so that's why I didn't buy it because
no,
again, I'm a little insane when it comes to collecting movies, so I buy
no,
a lot of different cuts,
no.
and I
I
bought
saw.
that
I
one
did
of the
see the. I did see. Yeah, I guess I can't. I can't bark too loud. I did. After all, I did pick up my snapper.
sides. I need that one. This one's the same, but it doesn't do the snapping thing.
Okay, everybody. Oh, look who showed up. We mentioned kaiju. Look who showed up. I swear
And
to God,
hey,
it's supernatural. I'm telling you. If you mention King Kong, he will come.
it's like when you summon the Ice Lord and he pops up.
I know he does that too, right? Enter the ice lord. Next thing you know, here comes Wes through the door. Did somebody call? Yeah, hi. Uh, let's see. Oh gosh, yes. See, yes. Oh, of course, if you mention Dragon Ball Z, that also will bring Casey, that'll bring Casey running too. Now we got to agree about that, right? I mean, you're not a big Dragon Ball fan, right?
Not current one.
I mean, well, you like the series or some of them, or
Well, yeah, I grew up watching it, so I do like the characters in the series. But I think I mentioned this on the stream you had with Casey.
yeah. Well, see, someone mentioned Dragon Balls. Steven mentioned Dragon Balls, and well, I think we mentioned King Kong first, so I think that's what brought him through the door. But yeah, well, see, there's two of our panelists right there for King Kong. Um, Casey, are you a fan of the Jackson movie? Uh, are you a fan of the Peter Jackson King Kong movie? We'll ask
Let
Casey.
us know.
I'm sure Casey will say yes to that. I mean, sure he appreciates it.
It's a good movie. I
It
like
is
it
a good
once they
movie.
get to Skunk Island.
It's so
But
you know what I really liked about. I'll tell you what made Jackson's Kong so good. It
Kong,
really was. It's the best acting of any King Kong movie.
I agree.
You really can't argue that point. I mean,
Nope.
the casting and the acting in Jackson's King Kong is on point. Now, people complain about the runtime. I mean, it is a little long. Like you mentioned, trying to get to the island, it did drag a little bit. But as far as the acting goes and the action goes, Peter Jackson did an excellent job.
Yeah, that's the difference when you have a director that directs his actors and does it quick and without 100,000 takes.
Let's see. I don't really remember liking it, but I've been meaning to give it another go. We're talking about Peter Jackson's King Kong, not Skull Island.
Oh,
I couldn't. I look. I watched the previews of Skull Island. I got the movie. I watched the previews of that. I saw a couple clips on YouTube. I was rolling. I was rolling. I was just like, man, this is terrible. This is some bullshit. I mean, it's like it's almost the same level of stupidity as The Quiet Place. You know, I mean, it's the same level of stupidity. It's like, yeah, you guys deserve everything you're getting because you guys, could you even be more stupid? Why don't you fly? Why don't you take those helicopters and fly up to King Kong and brush his teeth while you're at it? I mean, why not? I mean, you're pretty much doing it anyway. So why don't you just go ahead and finish that shot? You know. So, uh,
I
uh,
did find it interesting that they had a cannibal Holocaust reference in a major Hollywood studio movie.
let's see. Kalel says that Doctor Sleep is better than The Shining. So is
Oh, another one for Pat.
Oh, see, look at that. Kalel just put the shiny and catpoo and the catpoo. All right.
What are we? 4 and 3. Your favorite?
I think so. I think so. And Casey's saying that he likes Skull Island even if Sam Jackson's role is silly. Yeah. See, that's one thing. That's one thing about King Kong, Jackson's King Kong, is that the acting was on point. It
Yeah.
really was on point.
And again,
Um,
it has Naomi Watts,
I
and
mean,
it's
I think
kind
that
of hard to beat
think about
Naomi Watts.
you think about the risk that Jackson took in casting Jack Black. I mean, that was the key role, and it wasn't the first time. They did take a page from 1976. In 1976, they cast Charles Grodin as the main guy who's
Yeah.
trying to the Petromex guy, and Charles Grodin was well known for being a comedian. That's what he was known
Yeah.
for. He was known for being a comedian, and then he did the serious role in King Kong, and he did well. He did really well, and it was like, wow, he's not bad. Uh, and then when you
No.
saw Jack Black, Jack Black was, he was really good. He was real good.
And and Kong looks good. I mean, yeah, I really like how much they got out of the CGI thing.
Let's see. You wouldn't say it's cat poo. Well, that's what it is. It's cat. It's cat. It's sort of. It is cat poo though. The Shining is cat poo. It, it,
you,
it's just
you
you can't help it.
you could
Uh,
say that The Shining is shit.
yeah, yeah, the time, yeah. I will say a positive thing for the film for the because it's not all bad. The Shining. There is some things that I did like. I really did enjoy the score of the movie. I thought the
It's a good
music was the
score.
part. The music was the best part.
I like well,
Um,
I like the cinematography myself as well. I like the big shots. There's this amazing shot where Jack is looking at the model of the maze, and then it does a close up, and it zooms into Wendy and Danny. I
right.
really like that shot. I
Yeah.
really like that shot a lot.
I also liked Scatman Crothers. I thought he was really good, and as far as acting wise go, he definitely was the best part. He was the
Yeah,
best. He had the best. His word, his dialogue, his character was the best. Um, Jack Nicholson was just playing Jack Nicholson. He was boring as hell. Was not vested in him at all. Uh, I think for the kid, I think the kid did well too. I think the kid did
yes,
well for being so young. Again, I'll say it again. It's for um, the one role I had the most problem with on my rewatch was Shelley Duvall. I just couldn't stand her character. Not at all. Not at all. Ugh. Um, what about the miniseries? Yeah, there's a lot of people really like the miniseries. I have yet to see the miniseries, so I have to keep an eye out for that.
yeah. I saw it. I think I saw it because there was this wave of made for TV adaptations. You had the Tommy Knockers, you had the Langoliers, you had the Shining.
Okay, I hated the Tommy Knockers, but I love the Langoliers. The Langoliers
Yep.
is it gets crushed now. It gets crushed as far as the effects go, but the acting and the action and the playing against type, it's really still pretty strong. I still
Yeah,
really like it. I'm a big David Morse fan. Really loved him. I like the guy who played the Englishman. Bronson Pinochet playing the crazy guy. Wow, didn't see that coming. I mean, he played. I read the short story. But seeing him play the psycho, and he just went nuts. And but watching him play that role, wow, he was really good. He, I know that everybody hates the Langoliers because the effects are like really bad. I mean, real bad. Um, see, I would see. Look at see
Yeah,
Rebecca De Mornay. I mean, for the miniseries, and Steven Weber. Wow, Steven Weber was in that from Dawn of the Dead. Oh, that was Jake Weber. I'm sorry, Steven Weber. Oh, that Steven Weber did. He did that. The Masters of Horror I reviewed. He played in Jennifer. Wow, that's cool.
that's right.
Uh, uh, yeah. Let's see. Yes, Steven Weber. Yeah, he was in he did a Masters of Horror episode called Jennifer. He was really good in that too. But and Crystal Bernard. Damn, Crystal Bernard. She was cute as hell.
I like Rebecca
Oh,
De Mornay. I like
me
her a lot.
too. Me too. Rebecca De Mornay. She never really cashed in for what she should have been. She really was. She was gorgeous. Um, yeah.
She
Wow.
still is. She
Yeah, I
popped
think
up
she's
in
still.
last time I saw her, she was in that Mother's Day remake, and oh my goodness, she is still hot.
Yeah, I think she's still. I think she's in her early 60s, or maybe in late 50s. Because I know Tom Cruise has turned 60, and I think she might be a couple years older than he is, either a couple years older or a couple years younger. But yeah, she was smoking hot.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
and the Rock the Cradle. Yep. Risky
oh yeah,
Business. She also did a terrific episode of The Outer Limits. Terrific
yep.
episode. I loved her in that. Yeah, she's really good too. See, now if they would have casted someone like her in the Wendy Torrance role for The Shining, it would have worked a lot better. I'm trying to think of who was actually active during the '80s that you could actually have put in there and done well with. You had like people like Diane Keaton, and which I know wouldn't have worked. Jane Fonda. I'm trying to think of all the actresses that were A-list at that time. Uh, yeah, they did a lot. They sort of, you had like Shelley MacLaine. You had like Jack Nicholson was actually seen at the time. He was living with Angelica Houston, but there's just no way Angelica Houston I would never have worked. That would have
Yeah,
never worked. I mean, she was all wrong for the part.
yeah.
Uh,
If Napoleon would have been a thing, Kubrick wanted Jack to play Napoleon, so that might have actually been worse.
oh God, could you imagine that? Oh, there's nothing worse when you put a historical drama out there and you put somebody like that out there. It's like he just wouldn't get the role. He wouldn't understand the subtleties of it.
Yeah.
Crystal Bernard was in General Hospital along with John Stamos, Demi Moore, Elizabeth Taylor, and rest in peace, Jacqueline Zeman died this week.
Oh.
He played Luke's sister in General Hospital. She died. She is at 70 years old. Keep the ball rolling for a minute, Professor. I gotta get something to drink here. Keep talking.
Okay. So yeah, I like it. The only thing about the miniseries that I could say its fault is the budget again because it was made for TV. So those grass animals, those hedge things at the maze do not look good. They really do not look good. But again, it was early CGI, so you kind of like, well, it's the best that they could do with the budget. But the miniseries, I did actually like that they went a little bit more and how he was this father with issues that was trying to do the best he could, but then he went insane because of the influence at the hotel, and he dies a hero at the end, which is something better than the Shining one. But again, that ending on the Shining, I still love it. I still love seeing old Jack be like, he was frozen like a popsicle, I say. So, oh, by the way, happy Mother's Day to everyone watching the stream. I hope you gave your mother a nice hug if she is still with you, and gave her some flowers, took out for dinner. You gotta take care of the moms while we still have them. So, happy Mother's Day to everyone watching, and that might also be a mother. Happy Mother's Day to you. You deserve all the love and praise in the world because the job of a mother is not easy. Not easy at all. No, no, no. So yeah, how's the chat doing? Everyone doing okay there? I'm trying to read the chat, but unfortunately my eyes are a little blurry today. So I apologize if I don't get back to you. One moment, please. I'll try to unfog my goggles, but I'm still here with you. 1 second. Oh, indeed. If you are indeed a father that's doing double duty and doing a father and motherly duties, yeah, it applies to you too. Happy Father's Day. Yes, indeed. It's difficult enough as it is with a partner. Being a single parent is even worse. So, also major props to you. Yeah, Mr. Mom is good. Like I also like what's that one I don't have? Multiplicity. Yeah, I really like that one. I really like that one a lot, and it goes to show how good Michael Keaton is as an actor as he plays different roles. Oh, Pat, you're back.
All right. What did I miss? What did I miss?
Well, I was wishing everyone a happy Mother's Day because it's
Oh,
Mother's Day today.
that's
Yeah.
right. Did everybody have a good time on Mother's Day? Uh, yeah, he was really good in The Founder. Ooh, that's a tough movie to watch. That's a tough one. Man, you just want to punch him in the nose. Ray Kroc. Yeah. Yeah, you just want to punch him right in the ball sack. Yeah, happy Mother's Day to all the moms. Yeah, I picked up Night Shift from the library as well. And guess what it was too, Professor?
What was it?
Um, it was a snapper case.
Oh,
Um, yeah, you know what? I love those Scary Marshall movies. He did a series of the day movies, like he did Valentine's Day, New Year's
yeah,
Eve, Mother's
yeah.
Day. He did all those. Those were so much fun.
I like them.
Me
I mean,
too.
uh, no, I only like horror movies. No. Who said that?
That's right. The professor also is a closet Hallmark fan. That's right. Um, and did I tell you what happened today this week? So I was
What
telling
happened?
I was telling this to Katie that I was watching this channel on YouTube. He does all the early he does what's coming out during the week. So I always watch his show, and lo and behold, he does 4K releases, DVD releases, and he does Blu-ray releases. So I'm watching the Blu-ray releases, and guess what I saw coming out on Blu-ray?
What?
Hallmark movies. They're starting to release them on Blu-ray, and I'm going, wow. I said, what? He says, yeah, me too. I said the same thing when I saw that. I'm like, Okay, well, if they're doing Blu-ray, then they have to be doing some special features. You just can't release it on Blu-ray. Think that's enough. You have to do special features. All right. Let's see. Rebecca De Mornay did Mother's Day. That was written and directed by Darren Lynn Bousman, who did the Saw movies. That's right. She also did
Yeah.
Vacancy. Not Vacancy. ID. Identity. She did Identity. Uh, uh, yes, I definitely need to have her back, Stephen, for sure. That's always a pleasure to have her come in. That's for sure. Uh, Repo the Genetic Opera.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that one a lot.
Yes, that's one of my favorites too.
It
Uh,
comes in a little glass vial. A little glass vial.
he directed a classic horror movie for me, a modern classic called Avatar. I was telling everybody about that when it came out of Dollar Tree. I was telling everybody, you need to get that. You need to get that. You need to get that. That movie is bonkers. That movie is so killer.
Have to check if I have that one.
It came out at the Dollar Tree. Avatar, with uh, Dallas Callie, I think it is. His name is, and then Jessica Lowndes.
Okay, I'll check. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't, and I'll have to hunt it down. Even though Dollar
Yeah.
Tree hasn't restocked anything, they still have the same old Christmas movies they had last time I went.
God, I haven't even been to my Dollar Tree in forever. Hi, Jamie. Jamie is here. Let's see what Jamie thinks about Shining. Is The Shining a horror masterpiece or is it cheetah poo? I
Let us
think
know.
I think you might get Jamie on your side on this one. I think you might get her on your side. I think she'll say masterpiece. But
Yep.
but she could surprise me. She could come back there and say cheetah poo. I
I know. I
mean,
need. I need
I,
a,
I'm
that one will be 4-4.
that'll be interesting. Um, yep, that's a great movie too.
Which one?
Crazy Eights with Dina Meyer. That was yep. Tracy Lords is in it, and a lot of good. George Newberg, who played the voice of Superman, he was in it.
Huh.
I just got shot down. Jamie says it's a horror masterpiece. It's
Yes.
in her top five. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
man. I think you're up now 5-3 now.
I thought we were 4-4.
No, I think no. I think. Well, let's just have it. Let's see. Have you guys seen Letters to Satan Claus? It's a sci-fi horror take on Hallmark Christmas movies. Oh, no, I have not seen that. Oh, I got to. I got to see that. Uh, uh, yeah.
I
Let's
apologize.
see. All
I
right. So, all
apologize a
right.
while
So,
ago, but I can't see the chat. My goggles are foggy, and I can't see that well.
so far, we're gonna do this because a whole bunch of people came in, so we'll just have them all do this all at once. Um.
Okay.
Oh no, Jamie. No. 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 Not. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Not. No. No.
Hey,
I wasn't a
I
fan
like
when
it
it
so
came
much. I
out
bought
either.
it 3 times.
What do you do? Oh, what are you showing? Are you showing your copy again there, Professor? Uh, oh,
I'm not flexing. I'm not flexing.
I think
I'm
you're
just
flexing
sharing.
on you're flexing on me. You're flexing. I don't have 3 copies, but I do have this. I do have a snapper case.
I want that one so bad, but I haven't been able to find it.
If it's just real quiet, you can hear it.
Ah,
Oh,
I love that sound. I actually have 2001 and Clockwork Orange and Snappers, but not The Shining. And I'm like, ugh.
oh, I just got another one too. I got another snapper case. I got a copy of Fallen with Denzel
Oh,
Washington
that's a
snapper
good
case.
one. That's a
Factory,
good one. I think
factory,
I have that one too.
factory sealed. Let's
Oh,
see.
even better.
Why didn't I like The Shining? I liked. I didn't. I love the book, Jamie. The book is really good. The book is really good. But the main focus of the book is Dick Halloran. Oh, there is one scene. There is one very unpleasant scene in the Shining. One
Only one.
very,
I
huh?
don't know. I could think of a couple.
Well, when the bartender Lloyd. tells Jack who's coming, and they use a term that we don't use anymore to describe a black man. So that was rather unpleasant to see. It's like and honestly, I was actually trying to rack my brain to see if Stephen King actually wrote that in his book. I couldn't remember that, but I don't know why. For some reason, I just not really seeing. I really don't see Stephen King from what I remember. I don't really see him tossing that word around a lot. So there's that. There was that scene too. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Well, it's definitely a focus of the book, but the focus is too is on the link between Dick Halloran and Danny. Um, because they both have that gift of the shining, which is what Dick Halloran calls it, the telepathy, and that's not really focused on too much in the movie. In fact, we only see a couple incidences where they actually can read each other's thoughts, and in the movie, it shows Dick Halloran. He's all the way in Florida. It tells you how powerful that he is in one sense. He's got that connection with Danny, and he can read Danny. He can hear Danny's thoughts in his head all the way in Florida. He knows that Danny's in trouble, and it's like one aspect of that. I really enjoyed that. I really loved that part. But in the book, it encompasses that he knows what Jack is going through. He knows that Jack is slowly falling apart. He can feel Jack, doing that. It's one of the reasons why it makes him move all that much faster in the book to rescue Danny, because he knows that Jack is spiraling, and all that was in the book. And
Yeah.
but uh,
Yeah, because I was also mentioning, well,
but here's well, I must, I have not read Doctor Sleep, so I was not aware that Jack had that. So that maybe that's a new twist by King. But in the first book, there's no evidence of Jack Torrance having any psychic gifts, any telepathy. It was just Danny and Dick Halloran. Um, yeah, the yeah, I did like the score. The score was really good. You're right. The cinematography was good. The hotel, they built that set. The Shining was actually filmed in England. All the interiors and a lot of and the exteriors were filmed in England. There was not filmed in Colorado. That was actually in England. They built a life-size interior in the hotel, and Kubrick, being a method director, he was filming his movie in chronological order. So as they're moving the sets, after they're doing every scene, they were breaking it down and building the new sets as they were going to keep pace with what the story was, and that was really cool to hear that. And they
yeah,
filmed it on Elstree, which is the same studio that they filmed Star Wars at.
yeah. That's the one thing that it takes me off of the movie because they show these big aerial things and they mentioned the maze is this big thing, but you never really see the maze. Like, where's the maze? Oh, suddenly there it is. Okay, inconsistent much.
Um, yeah, let's see. Okay, so Eric comes in and says The Shining is really good overall, but I think Doctor Sleep surpassed it big time. So how does that work? Is that like a? I don't think it's a horror masterpiece to Eric. I think he says it's a good movie, but it's not a horror masterpiece. But he did like it, so that counts for you. He did like it.
Okay, woohoo!
So
One more
you
for
get
me.
you get like a half because he didn't call
Okay,
it a horror masterpiece.
I'll take it.
Nope. All right. So let's see. Oh, the horror, The Shining is not a masterpiece to him. See, that's what okay, but it is a good movie. So he does save it by saying it's a good movie for him. I have heard that Doctor Sleep is really really good. I have heard that.
Yeah, I still need
I
to
did.
watch because I bought it on Blu-ray. It was on sale for like $10, something like that, and it comes with the theatrical one and an extended version. But I haven't sat down to watch the extended version.
I got my copy. I want to say I got my copy at the Family Video before it closed. Yeah, before it closed, but I did not get the extended version. I think I just got the theatrical version. But I do. Let's see. All right, so that's a you know what, that's someone else has mentioned that too. So let's do this, Professor. Let's just have fun with this. Um,
Okay.
what is everybody's five favorite Stephen King based movies? Based
Oh,
on Stephen King. Stephen King. Let's see that. Let's see if we can get people to. Hey, hi Dave. Savage Zombie Reviews in the house. I gotta double check. I'm sure I'm sub to him though. I'm sure I am. I'll double check.
yeah, because YouTube's been acting up again.
Yeah. Hey man, how are you?
Hello,
Um,
man.
yes, that means I bet that means the Evil Dead watch is over with. That's what it means. We're getting everybody coming over from the Night Watch Zone, and welcome to the Society, the Midnight Society. I'm Patrick, and of course, the mighty Professor Macabro is in the
Hello.
house.
We are trying to talk about The Shining, but we haven't been able to actually get to it because talking around The Shining is actually more
Yeah.
entertaining.
Yeah, but we're having so much more fun now because if we had to actually talk about the movie, I've probably been doing one of these. I've probably been doing that. I don't want.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, so yeah, so let's have some fun with this. Um, I know it's a spur of the moment, but we got time. What is everybody's five favorite Stephen King stories? Five.
Well, number one for me is Carrie. I love Carrie. Carrie's
Okay.
my favorite one by
Okay.
far.
We're getting some great ones here. Eric mentioning sometimes they come back. That's a great short story. I love that one. Then
I like Cujo.
he did another one called Sometimes They Come Back Again. I think that one had
Okay.
I think that was either Steve Gutenberg or Tim Matheson was in that one.
Yeah.
Christine, Shawshank
Cujo.
Redemption, Carrie, and the original Pet Cemetery. Uh,
That's a good
Jamie
one.
mentioned, Jamie mentioned Thinner. That's a great movie. That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
that's a banger right there. Salem's Lot. Yes, me too. Right there.
I like
Dolores
that one.
Claiborne. I have not seen Claiborne. Pet Cemetery. I'm sure that's probably the original. And The Shining. This is Jamie's number one.
The Shining. Nice.
Yes, The Shining is number one for Jamie. See, and Eric is doing two honorable mentions, doing Misery and Thinner.
Oh,
Uh,
Mystery's a good one too.
yep.
Mystery's good. No love for it.
See. 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 Sometimes they come back. You had Alexis Arquette as the villain, and both Michael Gross and Hilary Swank as the other leads. Wow, that's cool.
I kind of also like Needful Things, the one where the devil sets up shop.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I hated the book though. Um, See, Stand By Me for Brene. She put Stand By Me, Christine, and let's see, and not Dolores Claiborne. Did not vote for that one. Too many, too many. Honorable mentions are Dreamcatcher and The Green Mile. Wow, Dreamcatcher, man, that the Green Mile is definitely one of my five. Shawshank Redemption, Green Mile. Uh, gosh, The Mist. I'll have to go with The Mist.
Oh, the
Um,
mist is good.
I
That's a
have to go.
really soul crushing ending. That one.
Yes. I would put The Mist down there. I put the I actually I really did enjoy it much more than I was unexpectedly enjoyed this so much more than I thought I would. I thought they did a really banger job. I really enjoyed this the stand, the one in the mid '90s. I enjoyed that. So I would go with the stand. I love the book. That's my favorite King book.
Cujo's
Um,
also Stephen King one, right?
yeah, and Cujo would be
I like
my
Cujo.
would be my fifth one.
Cujo's good.
I love Cujo. I think Cujo is a man. It's people don't see Cujo the way they should. In my opinion, they see the rabid dog scaring the kid and after the mom, and they don't see the real horror, and that is the dog is dying from neglect. They didn't give him the shots, and he died a horrible death by rabies. And that's what really is horrible. It makes that movie so on the level of Old Yeller for me.
Oh
If
yeah.
you talk about heartbreaking movies with animals in it, you have to mention Cujo.
Yep.
He was the real victim in that movie. See,
Christine is the other one that I really like. Christina like a lot. Do you remember? Did you used to watch Happy Days?
I used to watch Happy Days. Yes.
Do you remember they actually made a Christine reference in one of the episodes where the Fonz gets a car? The car is kind of like Christine.
No. I can't say I have. Hey,
Oh
Jonas, how
man,
are you?
I'm starting to
All
think
right.
maybe I dreamt that because I have this clear memory of that episode, but I ask a couple of people and they don't look at me funny like, "What are you talking about? Did you dream that?" So maybe I did dream it.
Yeah, I know that. I'm thinking the same thing when you're talking about how much you like The Shining. I'm just thinking maybe he. That's right. um, as far as there's been there's been a lot of Stephen King movies that man just crashed and burned though. I mean, if you really think about it, man, they crashed and burned. And
Oh yeah,
Needful Things for me was definitely one of those crash and burns. The Tommy Knockers, crash and burn. Um, there's some other underrated movies too, like The Mangler. The Mangler slips underneath a lot of people's radar, but The
that's
Mangler's a
right.
banger too, and that is a
Yeah.
hell of a short story. That short story is awesome. Um, they did a short of another Stephen King that I absolutely loved, and it came out on TBS. They did Dreamscapes and Nightmares, I think it was called. And in that movie, they put my second favorite story that Stephen King wrote, and that was a Battleground.
Okay.
Oh man, Battleground is a trip. That is a great short story. Uh,
Another one of my favorite movies, but it's not an adaptation, so I don't know if it qualifies. But Creepshow, I love Creepshow.
Jamie mentioned one movie here that I'm going to have to agree with her 100%, 1,000%. Is Hearts of Atlantis. Never gets mentioned. That was a very good movie. Me and my wife, we went and actually saw that at the theater together, and that had Anthony Hopkins in it, and that was a really good movie.
Yeah,
That was a moving film. Very, very cool. Uh, if I'm not mistaken, I do believe in the book he mentions there's a lot of Stephen King characters from different stories make their way through into that story.
okay.
Yeah.
I have to
Wow.
check that one out.
We are having a lot of fun here. The chat is popping. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, please do so. And again, I have to because I'm doing this more now, Professor. Um,
Okay.
feel free to drop comments too to help the channel out. I'm not very good at reminding people to drop comments, but I'm getting a little bit better. Feel free to drop a comment.
Oh yeah, that,
About the show. And if you have any ideas or any topics that you would like to see me and the professor cover, we would like to know that too by dropping a comment.
yeah. Leave a thumbs up on the stream. Leave a comment after the stream in the comment section. That helps the algorithm a lot.
Next week, we had to push back one show till next week. Next week we will be going back to fun-filled action. We will definitely be covering Killzone 2 next week.
I
That
found
will
my
be
copy. I
uh,
thought I lost it, but I found the copy.
what?
Killzone 2.
Oh, nice, nice. Well, you better be here then.
Yeah,
You,
yeah, I'll do everything possible.
hi, Katie. How are you? How are you? Uh,
Hello.
let's see. The Dark Tower and Secret Window. Man, Secret Window. That's an interesting movie. Johnny Depp played in that movie,
Yeah,
and man, that's he basically spoiler alert. Uh, he gets away with murder. Two,
yeah.
two of them. It's a weird movie. It's a weird movie. Uh,
I
of course,
forget that one's a Stephen King one.
also Sleepwalkers. With Steve, with about the aliens with the cats. That's also a Stephen King story. Let's see, Dark Half, Timothy Hutton. I like Timothy Hutton a lot. I have not seen that one though. I read
Which
it.
one?
I yes, Steven is on point. Brian Krause and Matkin and Amick and Alex Kriege. Wow, look at me dropping a cast, couldn't remember Easy Rider. So that tells you my brain is misfiring.
Don't,
Um,
don't feel bad about that, Pat. I forget stuff all the time.
yeah, that's what's your favorite five Stephen King movies, Katie? And are you a big fan of The Shining or is it Cheetah Poo? You think it is? You think because I'm calling it Cheetah Poo that people are trying to like it more than they really do? They're going like, I don't really like this movie, but I'm sort of feel bad about being labeled Cheetah Poo. Um, you
Well,
know, but
something I always say is that different strokes for different folks, not something that you
I
like.
was gonna say different. I was gonna say different poop for different folks, but that's just me.
No, I respect other people's opinion. I actually welcome hearing other people's opinion about
Good. Let's hear your opinion about Superman 4.
when people start just bashing a movie without any argument. Like, oh no, you don't like what I like, you're wrong. Boo. That's what I don't
Oh
like.
no, I'm not like that at all. I'll you know what hey, if you like Hereditary and if you like Bo is Afraid and if you like okay, it's just that's fine. You could look at Kalel saying that's it. He's out of here already. Uh, no. We're not going to talk. You know what though? I am looking hard for that copy. Let me tell you something. I'm looking so hard for a copy of Superman 4 Quest for Peace. I swear to God, there's another guy who's a big 80s. There's another guy who goes to the library. He's a big 80s guy too, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to ask him if he's got a copy that he wants to trade for. I might have to trade for that movie with him on Tuesday. I'm going to ask him, do you have, because he collects too, like we all do. I'm going to
Yeah.
ask him if he's got a copy of that because I want a copy because I want to cover that. I do. I want to review that. I want to do a Midnight Society Superman 4 Love Fest. We even don't say that. Let's see. See, Brian Krause was in the original cast of Charmed. That's right. I think he was White Lighter, and so was the original Doctor Doom. By the way, Doctor Doom also was in the original cast of Charmed. How about that?
Oh, that one has Alyssa Milano.
Julian McMahon was in the first Charmed.
I
Uh,
really like Alyssa Milano. She's one of my eternal crushes.
Sleepwalkers was a really interesting story too, didn't you think? The ending was just so weird, all the different angles and colors, and it was just a normal movie until he goes crazy, and then he
I don't
turns
think I
around and then all of a sudden the whole movie just turned into like an acid trip.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, Sleepwalkers. Oh, that's a trippy ass movie. That's the last third of it. It's like if you were taking acid or mushrooms, you'd be fried. It was just a really weird movie. Um,
Well,
let's see.
I have seen The Shining drunk, and it's an experience. Let me tell you.
What did it improve it any?
No, I mean I still like it, sober
Oh,
or drunk. I like it, but it was just like, whoa, what's going on here? I will tell you this much: that lady in room 237 freaked me out drunk. So yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. She gets out there, and next thing you know, he's macking out on a dead body. That was like, whoa. I was just wondering how she got there. It's like how does that happen? I mean, didn't anybody go through all the rooms to make sure they're all empty? I guess not. But yeah, that was a creepy scene too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely, and of course, the model in the that gets up, totally Starker nude, full frontal nudity,
Yeah.
that was rather unheard of for an '80s movie at that time.
I
I
can
don't. I mean,
imagine.
they were getting away from that sort of stuff. I mean, they were doing topless scenes still, but they weren't doing full frontal. So that was
Yeah.
a little unusual to see that.
And that's something I'm still like wondering. How did Kubrick have such pull in Hollywood to be able to get away with half of the stuff he got away with?
Well, I definitely think at that time, he had done a lot of movies in the '60s. By time 1980 got around, uh, it was pretty much, he could punch his ticket on two movies. Clockwork Orange, which was a absolutely classic, and of course, you know, uh, 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 Space Odyssey, 2001: A Space Odyssey. I think those two movies pretty much cemented him to pretty much be able to try anything that he wanted to. Um, it was he had trouble finding investors after Barry Lyndon. I mean, Barry Lyndon technically was a good movie. It's just it just didn't have an audience. It wasn't a bad movie. It just didn't find an audience. So it did make him a little bit more, it was a little bit harder for him to get his financing. So that's one of the reasons why he decided to do horror, was like, he's gonna, like he said, he was gonna try to come back. He's gonna do a horror film, then come back and do, back to mainstream. Um, I'm sure, at that time, just like, a lot of people, I feel they probably thought that, you could do horror for really cheap and get a big return out of it. I mean, even today, that's the gimmick. Get a horror film for $10 million, you can make 60 or $70 million out of it, and everybody wins.
Yeah.
You don't have
True.
to,
True.
like, was it? They're saying how Guardians of the Galaxy, will it make its money back? They're trying to say it was 300. It's not 350, but they're saying, well, it's $350 million. Will it make its money back? And whereas a horror movie can just come out there like Evil Dead Rises. I think it was done for 15 million, and you already see what it's doing.
Yeah.
Screams, I think almost to $100 million domestic, domestic, and it was made for what, 17 million. I mean, you can make a profit off a horror film. So he was looking for a hit. He was looking for a movie to make money. And I mean, The Shining didn't make a lot of money back. I mean, it was made for 20 million and it grossed 48. But again, at that time frame, that was actually pretty good money. And considering the lack of an international market like today, it did really well.
Yeah.
And then once it hit cable, because cable was just, it was just coming into its own during that time, and it became a huge hit, a huge staple on cable. Man, during the '80s, man, you saw The Shining all the time on cable,
Yep.
and
Well,
so people
a
watched
heavily
it
edited
over.
version, but yeah.
Yeah, people well, they have the uncut version too, and so people watched it over and over and over, and that's, became a cult favorite.
Yep.
So
And the movies that he did afterwards, Full Metal Panic, that one I think did pretty good, but I don't know how well Eyes Wide Shut did.
I don't know how that would either, but I'll tell you one thing. I don't know if people know this or not, but a
Full
Clockwork
Metal Jacket,
Orange,
I think Panic.
a Clockwork Orange actually got a sequel. They
What?
made it. Yes, a Clockwork Orange got a sequel, with Malcolm McDowell. Nonetheless, it was called "Oh Lucky Man."
Huh.
That was a cool ass movie.
I haven't seen
I
that one.
saw that way before I saw Clockwork Orange. Man, that movie was cool as hell. I saw that on cable.
I'm gonna have to check that one out.
Hmm. Let's see. Jamie says Eyes Wide Shut is one of her favorite Christmas movies.
It is set in Christmas. Yes, it does qualify.
I think I'm missing something there because I have not seen Eyes Wide Shut. Isn't that the one with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman though?
Yes, that's the one.
Okay, I never saw it, but I remember it. I think they were married at the time. One of those Hollywood marriages. Uh, did you? So does that mean does that mean you're a fan of it, Jamie? You're a big fan of the movie?
I'm sorry, what?
I was asking Jamie if she's a fan of the movie.
Oh, because that was the last movie I what Chelsea got to do. He was going to do artificial intelligence before he died, and Spielberg took him over.
That's right. Yeah, he did AI. That's right. Oh, you know who else auditioned for Jack Torrance? I forgot to tell you. It's
Who?
like there are people, I mentioned Martin Sheen and I mentioned Robert De Niro. You know who auditioned for that role?
No, who?
None other than Robin Williams.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I did read about that.
I think though, I don't know if he had done I don't know if he had done I think he had done I want to say he had not done the World According to Garp yet. Because I think the World According to Garp came out in 81 or 82, I think. So I don't think he had any feature film experience. Um, let's see. I had to see Eyes Wide Shut. I would like to. I've heard nothing. I heard it's really strange, but I would definitely like to give it a run. I always have a list of those movies in my head when I go to the library. I do. I have a list of movies when I see especially the movies from the 80s and the 90s. I do have them because I missed seeing a lot of those movies because of my work. Like I didn't see a lot of movies from 89 to 99. I didn't see that many. I saw movies after I got here. Uh, yes, Jamie. Yes, I love Award and According to Garp. Oh my gosh,
That's a good one.
I cried my eyes out the first time I saw it. Still do. That ending is just, are we flying? Yes, my love. Fuck, it kills me every time.
Uh,
Uh, totally. And John Lithgow, wow, played Roberta, the nurse.
yeah,
Lynn Close played the mother. Wow,
good cast.
that's a fantastic movie.
Yep.
Uh, Mary Beth Hurt played his wife. Yeah. Uh, yeah, Robin Williams, and that's just that's a beautiful movie. Um,
To this day,
it was well, I shouldn't say it's right up there. It's like 1A as far as my favorite Robin Williams movie. What May Come is my favorite.
oh, that one's a good one. To this day, the death of Robin Williams still. Every time I see him in a movie, rewatching Jumanji, What Dreams May Come, I still like. Oh man, God damn it, Robin Williams still hurts me. It's the
Yeah,
only actor's death that really like got to me because of he was going through depression and the way that he went out. I was like, damn it, Robin Williams.
yeah. The two actors that did that for me that just crushed me when they went out was Robin Williams and John Candy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, John Candy was just I would have been so excited to see the work that he would have been doing. And he if he just would have he was trying to he was trying to lose weight. He was trying to get into a better lifestyle. It just didn't happen for him. But he was a sensational actor, and Cool Runnings is so good, so good. It gives you and planes, trains, automobiles. He gives you a real glimpse of what he would have been bringing to the table.
oh yeah, a legend. And everyone, I have not heard a single person say a bad thing about John Candy. Everyone says that man was a saint.
I have not heard anybody say anything bad about Robert Williams either.
Yeah,
No,
same thing.
I think it's one of the reasons why that hurts. It hurts. It hurts more because they were good people. Now there's some actors that come out there. There's some like the one actor I mentioned before that I get really angry about because I just don't understand it. I just truly don't. Um, is Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah,
I think he's brilliant, but man, oh man, he just when he died, the way he died just really pissed me off. At just like it, it was just like a big slap on the face to us all. It's like, wow, there's so many people that would, if they would have had your resources, they would have taken advantage of it, and continue to bring us art. And I miss them too, Jamie. I can't lie to you. I can't lie to people. I feel these people on a personal level. I do. I mean, which I hope it comes through when I do the interviews. I really do like connecting with these people. You
yeah.
know, I
I
I,
mean,
I do, and I think that's the reason why that's why I'm angry about it because I really liked him, and I didn't want to see him die. I was rooting for him, and just to come out and have so much to go live for, and just to come out and throw it away in 3 fucking hours. Came out of rehab, scored, went up there and killed himself, shot
yeah.
himself up. Michael K. Williams, the same thing. Brilliant actor, brilliant, and goes over there and shoots up and he dies. It's just like, ah, I don't,
You
I
think
don't understand it.
you think maybe that there's what's that thing? A brilliant mind is full of vices. Like Stanley Kubrick, everyone says he's a visionary person, but he had some issues to him too.
Yeah, he definitely has some mental issues. I mean, you look at and look at the character of Jack Torrance. I mean, played by Jack Nicholson. I mean, Nicholson, and he had his own issues. Nicholson did. I mean, he had his own demons he had to wrestle with. He's
Yeah,
a good actor. If he's a good actor, but man, he had his issues. I mean, people don't remember this back in the day with some of these older actors like De Niro or James Caan or Nicholson. I mean, they were firebrands back then. Back then, they were the ones on the cover of People magazine and shit like that. And uh, let's see. Robin Williams is on Law and Order SVU playing a bad guy. That's right. And to top it off, he played one who got away. They never said if he died or faked his death in the episode. They left it. Yes, I remember that. It's funny. Is like I remember waiting for them to resolve that. I was waiting for that to resolve. I was wondering, are they going to bring him back to close out his arc? Because they do that on that series. Um, all right, Professor. Let's talk a little bit about your channel. What do you got coming up this week, Mister?
well, I'm still recording random stuff for Mayhem, and I don't usually plan things that far ahead, but I got a couple of videos I need to edit, and I recorded some stuff for the Friendly Man, a couple of commercials for
Oh, okay. Which ones are you making the commercials for?
they're gonna do an interview with Uwe Boll, and I did a couple of stuff for them, so hopefully they like it, and
Yui Bowl. Yeah, that's gonna be a banger right there. I I like Yui Bowl. I like I think he's innovative. I think he's interesting. I think he's an incredibly interesting director. I've got a few of his films. He's gonna that's gonna be a great interview by those guys. Um, See, Echo saying he's so looking forward to the Yui Bo interview. Well, I only got one question for you guys. So are you going to be watching the Friendly Men version of the Yui Bo interview, or are you going to be watching my version of the Yui Bo interview? Because Yui Bo is coming to visit Eight Questions with, and boy, I got questions. Uh, That's right. That's right. I got questions. So between James, Jonas, Mark, and the aunt reviews things in a bowl of mashed potatoes, plus me and the cheetah into the mix. We are going to have a lot of fun talking the Yui Bowl. The friendly men and 8 questions with are going to be are taking it on. Uh, it's going to be. You know what? I'm gonna be watching yours too, though, because I know you guys are gonna be, bringing the noise. Um, that's gonna be that's gonna be bringing the noise. I can't wait to see what you guys talk about. Um, Echo says the friendly men. That's right, Echo. Me too, buddy. You know what? I'm honestly, Echo. I'm gonna admit, not only am I not looking forward to seeing the friendly men crack one off with the Yui Bowl, but next Friday, and I have a show on Friday. I have a show on Friday, but I'm telling you this, and let me tell you, oops, I gotta say this. Oh, let me get my calendar here. So on the 19th, I do have an artist. I have an artist. Her name is Michelle Lynn Blasky, and she's going to be here on 8 Questions with. But I got to tell you, Stephen from House of Horrors, he has Brett Kelly on as a guest on the 19th on the House of Horrors on a Friday night. I am so happy to see that interview. That is somebody I've been trying to get for years. I never came even close to it. Never even came close to Brett Kelly, but Steven landed the interview. That is going to be a very fun interview. That is going to be so much fun. Brett Kelly has made so many fun movies. He is the man that was behind Ouija Shark. He's the guy behind Ouija Shark. So, yeah, that's right. I'm hyping up other people's nights because it's exciting. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be so much fun. I won't be able to see it live because I'll be doing my own interview, but I'll be watching the replay instantaneously as soon as my show is over with. Um, so that I really, I'll even go as far as saying this. I hope that you guys will go and support that interview. I'll be helping promote it, and then catch me on the replay. Catch me on the 19th on the replay. Um, uh, no, that will never happen, Echo. Never happen. No, no. No, that will never happen, Echo. That will never ever happen. Oh my God, could you? No, I don't know anybody that would take that on. I give you $25 if you did it though, Echo. Uh, thank you, Jamie. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm really. It's gonna be a really fun show to watch. The Friendly Men get after it, and but we do have some other shows coming up here. The Professor disappeared on me. I will let you know what's going on the channel for next week. This coming week right here, starting with tomorrow. Tomorrow we have singer Rachel Deshane will be here at 8 o'clock. Singer-songwriter Rachel Deshane will be here at 8 o'clock. On the 16th, we have two shows on the 16th for 8 Questions with. At 3 p.m. Eastern Time, we will be talking to Rocky Reynolds. He is an actor and he owns a small business, and we will be talking with Rocky about both. He is a warrior at heart, and can't wait to talk to him. He's a really nice guy, and can't wait to chew the fat with Rocky Reynolds. At 8 o'clock on the 16th, at 8 o'clock, I will be interviewing director Giro Sentian along with his wife Anna. They have just produced and released a brand new movie called Space Wars: Quest for the Deep Star, which I watched and reviewed and had an absolutely blast with. That was so much fun to watch. It stars Michael Perrier, Oliver Grunier, stars Sadie Katz, who we've interviewed on the show before, Sarah French, Taylor Gallant. It's a really fun movie. Highly recommend it. It's out on Uncorked Entertainment, but we're going to be talking with the director and the co-star of that film, Space Wars on 8 o'clock on Tuesday the 16th. Let's see. Yeah, the professor disappeared. I guess the Diablos got him. Yeah, the Diablos came up there and grabbed the professor. Okay. On the 17th, if you love A24 films as much as I do, and our guest Matt Fasci and I will be here. We're going to be here talking about A24 films on the 17th. So if you're a big A24 fan, please tune in for that. It'll be worth your time. That'll be at 8 o'clock as well. On the 18th, we have singer-songwriter Michelle Aragon will be here. Aragon will be here with us at 8 p.m. She will be singing. She's going to be doing a couple of songs with us. And on the 19th, we have another actress and producer, and also another vocalist, and that will be Michelle Lynn Blasky. She has a band called Ms. 44, and we'll be talking with her about her band and her career. So that'll be on the 19th. And then I want to mention two other shows real quick here. On the 22nd, we have Julie Michaels will be here with us. Julie Michaels played Denise on Roadhouse. She'll be here. She also is a world-class stunt person. She played Agent Marcus on Jason Goes to Hell. And she has done crazy stunts. She's become so famous for her stunt work. And then on the 23rd, I'm scheduled to be joined by our good friend Hobbs Hoare on the 22nd. He'll be co-hosting with me. On the 23rd, we have musician Todd Strange will be with us from the band I Am. He will be here with us on the 23rd. And I'll have special co-host will be Jonas from the Friendly Men, and that will be at 8 o'clock too. So we have a lot of fun coming up here on the show. Next week I'll be solo. I think I'm going to be solo, and I will be covering Killzone 2. I might have a special guest if I can find someone who loves action like as much as I do. Then we'll have a co-host. If not, it'll just be me and you. I want to thank you guys all for coming out. I really do appreciate it. Of course, please go to Gory B Movie. She'll be starting up at 10:30. I don't know what Gory is going to be covering, but whatever it is, it's going to be damn good. Gory and Danny Nightmare, and that's where I'll be rolling as soon as I get out of here. Thank you guys all so much for coming out, and we will talk at you soon. Peace.